One of the topics that has always fascinated us is flying. One has a lot to consider and reflect on the subject, from its construction to its methods. There are some unknown facts about everything from round windows to how flights operate in thunderstorms. These little known facts will give you a better understanding of how aircraft operate and stop your wandering mind. Hello once again to the channel. In this video, we will be revealing to you the flight secrets that people don't know about. But before we begin, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon. Without further ado, let's get started. Number 10. Harmless lightning strikes. You may have frequently witnessed lightning strikes while in the air. The crew is always understanding and supportive when passengers start to worry and lose their composure. They themselves maintain their composure for a reason. These days, the entire plane is covered with metal mesh, which conducts electricity and deflects lightning. Additionally, the mesh prevents all electrostatic discharges. In addition to this, the mesh shields the cabin of the aircraft from external electromagnetic radiation. Number 9. Uncommon bird strikes. Bird strikes come after lightning strikes. Although it's uncommon, it has the potential to seriously damage the engine and the plane, forcing an emergency landing. As most engines are now tested to withstand such hits, such events are no longer common. It's possible that failing to do so could cause harm, although it's quite improbable. Number 8. Lavatory entrance. When it's occupied, the restroom on the flight is often locked from the inside. The individual standing outside is unable to use it in this situation. There is, however, a small method you can use. Under the restroom sign is a system of exterior locks. The person waiting outside can in fact use these to open the restroom. It should only be utilized though in an emergency. Number 7. Chimes or tunes. A further aspect of aeroplanes is their use of secret codes and random music and bells. These are not the typical indications that it's time to buckle up or unbuckle your seatbelt. It's the erratic music that you hear as you're flying. These codes are regularly used by the flight crew to communicate with each other. These numbers could also indicate how many snacks are still available or turbulence warnings. In extremely rare instances, the chimes may also signal an emergency landing or route change. The chimes are tough for passengers to understand because only flight attendants use them. Number 6. Boarding at the end. Many people prefer to congregate when the boarding process begins, causing a rush and a long line. You will save a lot of time by boarding towards the end and skipping the long lines. Tickets have already been distributed, and the flight won't take off until every passenger is seated. Number 5. Dimming of cabin lights. The light going out on an aeroplane is not a signal to go to sleep. The purpose of this is to help the passengers acclimate their eyes to the darkness. This is advantageous for emergency takeoffs and landings. With the aid of exit lights that flash brightly in the dark during the emergency landing, passengers may be readily evacuated in the dark. Number 4. Dropping of emergency oxygen masks. The flight attendants give a safety demonstration during which they show how to use oxygen masks in case of an emergency. As the cabin's oxygen level falls to dangerous levels, oxygen masks are removed. It's suggested to put on the mask as soon as you can. There is a small twist though. The oxygen present will continue for 12 to 15 minutes after the masks are removed. The pilot needs this amount of time to navigate to a safer altitude and execute a safe evacuation procedure. It's a pressurized cabin that poses no risk of harm at all. Number 3. Why not square window? You can see the limitless clouds in a blue open sky when you look out the window. But how often have you wondered why a plane's windows are spherical rather than square? Up to the 1950s, windows had a square shape. The edges of the windows were the ones that stuck out since they were severely damaged during a series of air crashes. The plane's weak spot was the window's pointed corners, and the metal that surrounds the glass had to withstand the pressure that was 2 or 3 times larger than any fuel use. As a result, round windows took the place of square ones since they are more difficult to break and crack. Number 2. Color of the seats is mostly blue. If you look closely, the aeroplane seats are typically blue, because blue is associated with coolness and clarity, because it contributes to the creation of a pleasant environment. Passengers may feel at ease and tranquil as a result. This is also the rationale for why hospitals favor the color blue. In order to make passengers feel at home, some airlines prefer to use vibrant colors or subdued tones. Number 1. Food secrets of pilots. The frozen food that passengers consume is not the same for pilots. They eat expensive cuisine. It's one of the fundamental guidelines airlines adhere to. They eat a variety of foods to avoid tainted food. It's not permissible for 2 pilots to eat at the same time. The first person must finish it first, and the second person must wait for an hour. This is done to avoid food poisoning. You can enjoy your ride a little more and learn more about how the airline operates by knowing these little-known facts. Did you know any of the flight secrets before? Let us know in the comments section. And if you like our work, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching.